Hi there everyone, this is James from Vamp the Lost Soul. This is completely digital today because I'm covering Lore of the Vamp the Lost Soul, so I thought to make some nice concept work, I think I'm going to try hopefully to create like a sort of lore book, and all the art will be all digital compared to my usual art from the manga and everything itself. If you like this, please let me know in the comments, because the more feedback I get, the better I can be for you guys. I'm just going to share this like a couple of places now, but so put up with me for a couple of minutes and then we'll get this rocking. So yeah, the reason I did this, no one has voted obviously last week, and it was supposed to be just normal concept art, and I sat there and think, well, normal concept art, you don't know what the characters are, you don't know what lore is and stuff like that, so it made me ponder for a little bit. I'm talking as I share this as well, made me ponder a little bit, and I realised that if you guys are going to get invested in my live Let's Draws and my manga series in general, maybe it's about time I should share some of the lore with you, stuff like that. So these videos will help you as a guide to Vamp the Lost Soul. I can't cover all of it in one hit because there is so much to cover Vamp the Lost Soul, because I create this world, and also due to misprints here and there, obviously it happens naturally in books, I want to make sure that it's all explained here, so when you read it and get a little bit confused, you could come to these videos and go, ah, so that's what it is. So yeah, it's essentially like a guide, essentially. Oh, already posted there, I don't want them moaning at me again. There we go, come join us, smiley face. Yeah, so that's where the idea came from. So if you wondered why, that's what's going on. So I'm just, like I say, I'm just sharing this obviously as I go along, and I hope you really enjoyed this live Let's Draw today, because if you do, I will scrap the concept art completely into concept art that's something to do with the Vamp the Lost Soul world, its lore, the races that are in it, etc, etc, and I can go through it each episode while, hold on, sorry, I'm focusing here, while obviously I do all this. So yeah, it's just hopefully, you know, if I get a comment now, I'll put, you can also join the live chat, by the way guys. It's really fun, and it makes the live Let's Draws more fun if you guys really get involved and start chatting and all that fun stuff to do with this. So yeah, this is why I do it live, is so I could talk to you guys, make it a bit more personal, a bit more fun and stuff like that. Also, feel free to sign up to my Patreon. I know this is me, I keep doing this every episode, we're talking about Patreon on that, but seriously, like, the self-publishing a manga is really expensive, and plus I need to provide a free service, so I decided to do the live Let's Draws for you guys, so you kind of get behind the scenes of what I do with my work and stuff like that. So yeah, sorry, someone's just messaged me, but I'll hold on, just give me a second. Oh god, I'm sharing it on my own page, I don't want to do that. No. But yeah, sorry, I've really spoke too fast there, and I hate doing that because it makes me feel a little bit breathless, but also apparently I could talk for days, so I don't know how I can pull that off while speaking fast, but hey yo. Seems it won't let me share to groups anymore. Hold on. Facebook is, oh there we go, share. That's why it's just been a bit of a dweeb on me. Okay, so we want to share this in free groups here, and then free groups in post, obviously. I'm just going to share it because I don't want to delay this any longer. So we share this in one more group, share it in a group, and we put manga car indie writers unite, post, and share this in a few YouTube groups. So there we go, we'll share this now. Obviously Google Plus, post, originally shared this post, and we want to share with other YouTube based stuff. Share YouTube videos, post, game videos, comedy videos, other videos. There we go. They should have really live now, because I've noticed ever since I started doing live Let's Draws, it's kind of kicked off a trend. I've not obviously I've probably not kicked it off and someone else has kicked it off, but I've noticed like since I started doing it, there's been like sort of yeah, come watch my live Let's Draw, have a Patreon also. There we go. Shared it in a few groups. Discussion, promotions, tips and tricks. Promotion, there we go. Do it like, put it under there. Sorry, it's just like a bit like I was looking at it like derp. Hello, people who just came in. Sorry, I will get started in a second. I've kind of goofed my own post on Twitter. I just realised that. Stupid me. Oh, I want to go on my own Facebook page. I don't want to look at other people's posts because I want to edit a post and at someone at it. Copy link. Oh, okay. Maybe. Oh no, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna retweet it, and yeah, I just realised I could have done a really clever thing. So yeah, this means I get a lot more tweet space, and I can at people with the hashtags in it. So yeah, that was Any Media Meast, and we do it at Manga Etc. and do it at Manga as well. There we go, and tweet that. There we go. Now we can get started. Sorry for the slow start, obviously. So essentially, what I've got here is the mannequins I took a picture of earlier for pose reasons, because I've thought I might as well test them out digitally now and see how it goes. It might become my preferred method later on, but I've done all the hand drawn for free, volume 3 anyway. So, and I'm probably gonna try and stick to doing it by hand. So, right, that's a bit too thick. Okay, we're gonna start here. We're going to start with the characters themselves. These characters are not going to be from the manga, obviously. These are going to be particular races, obviously. We need to make a new layer, obviously. I've been a bit of a derp here. We're going to blue stencil first, then red stencil. No, I think we can... Yeah, I think we need to just stencil a few bits here and here before we go red. Put where the lips are, obviously, as well. Where the hair is going to be. Yeah, we're going to have to start drawing it like Damakin style still. I was hoping I could skip that, but obviously not. So, just goes to show, what do I know? So yeah, I think this is like the third thing I've done completely digitally. So, yeah, this is going to be quite an interesting one, actually, admittedly. So... So yeah, there we go. Anyways, how are you all doing today? I forgot to ask that, because normally I say how are you all and we get a conversation started through there. Being very rude today, aren't I? Naughty me. Yeah, so we need to deliberate that. So, anyone have any awesome plans for the weekend? Because obviously, well, it's Sunday now, so the opacity's not that great. Let's turn that up. Hey, Manga Etc. How are you doing? Is the buffing better now? Because I know last time we had, like, I literally bumped into severe technical difficulties, obviously. So, that wasn't really fun for anyone. Oh. Yeah, that's thanks, Manga Etc. And also feel free to share around, obviously. I'm only purely doing this on YouTube today just for experimentation's sake. See for Law Fridays that I can do this, because first off I am going to draw 2 of the race that I created that you've only barely heard of, and you've seen one once in the first volume, but other than that you haven't really seen any prominent sign really of them, which is the Rendos, obviously. That's what I'm banging on about. So yeah. So that is way too blurry, but hey ho. Yeah, it's cool. It's just at the end of the day, I've noticed you might have watched it from the beginning. I'm not too sure, so please let me know if you have. Has he got? Yeah, that's just me being silly. All right, he has a finger like right down there. Yeah, and then that, and then so that's pretty much that going on, and then you got the little finger here. Yeah, so at the moment I've decided instead of just doing normal character concept, I'm going to do lore concept. So I'm going to draw a female and male members of the render race. As you can see, I got my female mannequin today, a few days ago, which was awesome, by the way, which I am very happy with. So today is the lore that I'm going to explain is actually more about how the world works with Vamp the Lost Soul, so people can get up to date with what's going on than anything else at the moment. Next week I'm probably most likely going to cover, unless I cover it within this episode, like the kings and queens of the realm, how their abilities work, stuff like that. So yeah, so as soon as I start doing this, I'll get cracking on explaining, obviously. So, right. So if we just do a bit of a paper thing there. Wow, this photo's blurred. That's really bad. Incre and Incru, the mannequin names. You really are pushing for that, aren't you? Oh god. You are not going to start until I name them that, aren't you? Oh god, that cracks me up. Anyways, we got more people watching now. How are you all today, by the way? People just came in. No, let's just do that, and then yeah, just do that, get a bit of rubber there just to, there we go. Hey Drayon, how you doing? Feel free to, like I say, share amongst friends and that, so it's pretty cool. It will be a thing. Good, I'm finally awake. Time for your streaming again. Awesome. Glad. Welcome to the stream. I'll be glad to sort of, you know, I'm trying my mannequins out, as you can see. So hopefully, let's see. We're gonna have to do eye level here. So that, and that. Do the headline level. Get the rubber. Rub this bit out now. Don't need this, and there we go. Cut that, tidy that up a bit. There you go. Yeah, it's great to see you on the streaming again. Yeah, so I haven't obviously. I know you had a word with me about not spamming my channel all over your thing, so I haven't like kind of posted on there, so gives people some breathing spaces. There we go. We'll start with the female anatomy now. My stylize is kind of pointing chin anyway, so just go from the chin and then we'll work from there. I think we do it bit by bit on this. Just sketch it out. Stop there. And then head's a bit off shape there. There we go. It's fine every now and again. I was more talking about 2 or 3 times in a row. It's cool for you if you're streaming or not. Feel free to. Didn't mean to post period low. It's fine. No. It's not that. I'm rather cool with it. If people talk to me about it in a cool way, like you did, and a few other people did, it's cool. But when people get really nasty about it, that's when I tend to get funny about it. So I'm a bit like, you know, dude, you just should have said the once. But yeah, it's fine. Didn't come across horrible in any way. Trust me, if you did, I would definitely let you know about it. But yeah. But sadly, I had a bit of an awkward moment, actually, funnily enough, the other day after I did one of my streams. Sadly, it did come in the form of someone who was someone I thought I knew well enough for not any pettiness to happen, but he basically attacked me by going, oh, you know, you don't post on it. He wasn't even an admin. He was like, how can I put this? He was just someone, he actually confessed it. He was bored, had nothing else to do. Apparently he didn't like me for personal reasons, so whatever those were, I didn't really give a damn, because I was a bit like, you know what, I'm fed up with the attitude, and kind of blocked him. Then he tried to attack my Facebook page by using my own dyslexia against me, which that was pretty bang out of order. And then he tried to mock me. My mate actually had a go at him, actually, because he's a mate of his. My mate's a mate of his, obviously. That he basically tried to pick a fight with me by trying to talk behind my back, even though I blocked him. And my mate just went, well, go and say it to his face. You know what I mean? It's sad that it has happened like that, but hey ho. That in crew is not the female. But yeah, don't apologise. Like I said, I've had people in the past who tried to pick fights with me, and I've just basically told them where to go. I've essentially got to the point, like, I used to be this, like, people used to walk all over me, and now I'm a bit like, well, if you want to be a douche, get out. But other than that, actually, like, what I've learned recently, that with people, it's more, I'd rather have a few close friends than many friends. Not just to avoid less aggro, but it's just in general, like, you realise some people just aren't as much of a mate than you think they are. It's it's a bit of an awkward thing to talk about, because obviously I don't want to name names and stuff like that, but last few years I've been going through a rough patch, personal reasons, and yeah, just wasn't a very fun time for me. So, and then I just blew up because I had enough with being obviously treated like a piece of doo-doo. Oh, that's not too bad, actually. Quite pleased with that. Sorry, I was just quite pleased with the outcome of that drawing. This is where it gets a bit blurry. So, hey, I need to get a better camera. Jamie's on. I don't understand why you're tracing paper with mannequins. Poses are very stiff as a result. Perspectives are warped by the camera lenses. Yeah, no, I'm only testing this out is because people said my what is it? Yeah, Damien, actually I completely agree with your statement there. As for Jamie, I have to admit, the only reason I started using these is because I need to work on my anatomy a little bit. Like, not too greatly, but this is kind of like a rough template point, and then what I'm going to start doing, I need to get a better camera so I can take better pictures of them, is to start actually using them then. But these are quite decent mannequins, actually. Like, it's helped a lot of people out with drawings. So that's my answer to your question, Jamie. But thank you for pointing that out. I have noticed that as well, but you kind of edit it along the way. This is just my template. Yeah, that should be fine. That arm's a little too long, I think. I'll change it up later when I need to. But yeah, anyways, layer, new layer. Let's start with creating the rendos themselves. Oh, need a more of a pale colour. Just so I can... There we go. Don't know why it does that. Yeah, it's distorted bits of it, so I'm going to have to... I think got to work on this a little bit, but hey ho. Let's start with the hair. So Rendo's hairs are usually quite long. They don't like having their hair short for reasons. It's harder to identify who specific Rendos are, because a lot of them do kind of, like, without sounding mean, their hairstyle, like with a short hairstyle, their hair colour changes to like a natural race colour. When it grows longer, it kind of changes to their like personality colour, but even though they don't try and show a personality, they're a bit of a weird race, they are. Right, as for the ears, their ears are a bit elvish. The race I created, they have sort of that sort of ears. There we go. So they have sort of that, and their nose quite flat, and then well, what shall we do? Actually, we're going to do something different with the hair, because normally I do like big arches for most long hairs, but I think for this we're going to do a sort of normal, and then do that. That looks a lot better, yeah. So I don't know what I'm going to name these rendos, but I'll probably come up with something. I have to come up with rendery names, and that's the thing, I've got to come up with a dictionary for their race. I believe the issue is it's too long and kind of hard to explain. It's a combination of many perspective things and shading. I like what you're trying to improve your poses, but yeah, but like I say, people got their own ways to improve. I think that's what it boils down to, really. At the end of the day, it kind of boils down to that, where people might prefer one method. We do a little bit here. There we go. And then we'll curve it like that, and then give them a bit of a... Ooh. That hair was a little bit too long compared to that other sideburn. Making his hair a bit too long. There we go. Just needs to be about just there. And then there and there. There we go. And then if we give him, I'd say kind of like a neat hairstyle. It's because I want to make his hairstyle quite neat and tidy. Sort of more of a... There we go. A bit too flat. Don't like that. I have to admit, like, drawing from tablet is really different experience. Like, people don't understand how different it is. Work on improving your approach to anatomy overall. If you master the properties of anatomy, it's a simple process. You can move over to more complex perspectives. Yeah, true. That's how I'm kind of using it. Is, yeah, you know, people like my drawing style, but it's just, it does need work, and that's, I'm kind of first to admit that, to be honest, hands down. And they're quite skinny race, so I'll go have to change their overall look. Anyways, yep, we'll do that. But I have to admit, the way they dress, though, I have to admit, I was very inspired by, you might see some old concept art on my DA page. Actually, funnily enough, their clothes are kind of inspired by Final Fantasy X sort of thing. So, right, let's do that, because that needs to be a bit more further, closer in. Sort of like, you know how Seymour dresses out Final Fantasy X, if anyone's played the game. Not my favourite Final Fantasy, but I liked it. You know, it wasn't bad and it wasn't awesome either. It was a good game. But that's my perspective on it, I guess. So there we go. So we got the collar done, and then we'll do the neck. Give it a bit more of a slanted body, really. And then, yeah, so if we give them more of a, yeah, a bit more of a flatter shoulders, which Rendos don't exactly, they're not exactly bulky. Then their eyes. Better if you improve your art, which is you're open to doing. Certainly showing. Thank you. It's nice when people notice you do put in the effort to improve, because I do want to improve my style and I want to get people most out of my series. So it's great. Right, the eyes. This is one of their Rendo Pacific trait. Their pupils, instead of just being round, they have like a sort of cross middle where it meets the pupil. If you think of it like the Shogun out of Naruto, it's kind of like that, but it's actually like crossed. So if I actually draw it up here, just to give you a bit more closer view of the Rendo eyeballs. So you got that, the eyeball, which looks normal, and then it literally, the pupil expands out like this. So I'm just drawing it here so you people know what their pupils look like. And the pupils around in the middle. So it's kind of like that. So people can get the stuff like redrawing the heads with different expressions over and over again. I have many pages. Endless. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It does look like the Sharingan, but it's... I tell you what, like, I tried to design the Rendo eyes in so many ways, and I have to admit, like, a lot of people... How can I put this? Like, because I did this before, like, I knew about Naruto, and there was one concept design I did of their eyes that looks so much like the Sharingan. I scrapped it completely when I found out about it. So that's why I went with like the cross pupil. And the reason being is actually Rendos, and this is actually part of the law of Vamp the Lost Soul, they can see atoms. They can see it on a sort of atomic level. So their pupils can they're at like camera lenses where if they want to see normal perception, they can. But if they want to see atoms for like battle reasons or science reasons or whatever, their pupils actually like sort of react into the cross mode, which basically you can see they can see atoms, and they see like actual atoms, like, and their eye resolution is so much better than a human's. Like, if you watch TV now, we've actually reached. It's quite funny, quite a fact about humans. Maybe if I'm wrong, let me know. Our eyes have already hit so much of a resolution that we can't go any further. So even if we do more high definition tellies, we can't notice it, if you get what I mean. We could only see what we can see. Drawing patella lines over and over again will prove your art. Yeah, no, I agree with your statement there. I have to admit, like, that's why I practice like the same characters quite a lot. Rendo's eyebrows are also very different to humans, so instead of having a normal, like, sort of, they have these flicks at the front, almost like what Rangfang does, and then they have like two flicks at the end, like that. So, and it sticks out a bit. It's quite an exciting episode today because you guys are going to find out like all different bits of information about Vamp Lost Soul, what the books don't provide. and I'm hoping like this video can be like a really good guideline, so before you jump into my manga series in general, just, you can get to know it, you can ask questions about it and stuff like that, like how the Four Realms work and things like that. So in a way it's technically like a live Q&A as well, but instead of being about my stuff and work, it'd be about the world of Vamp the Lost Soul. So yeah, it'd be interesting. Lips are pretty normal, and we need to do the bottom lash. But yeah, the lashes kind of stick out a little bit. There we go. Because they're not particularly a strong race either. They're very intelligent, but they're not that strong. But I guess that's my way of nerfing the race, if you get what I mean. Because they're like stupidly intelligent. They're like... so right, we need to give them sort of... and that. We need to give them belts, because all of them kind of wear these sorts of belts, sort of like toga belts, but so yeah, if we, I'm just going to do the rough lining for clothing, because they kind of do cover their bodies quite a lot. Like you would not ever see a rendo like in skimpy clothing, or a guy rendo like in just shorts. And if it does, it's like a once in a lifetime thing you see. Knowledge is power, lol. It is to them, actually, because rendos kind of value knowledge over speculism. Or, not exactly knowledge, but facts. They only believe in facts. They know about the Four Realms, obviously, and stuff like that. But they're really scientifically minded. They're the ones, actually, manga etc. This will lead into another topic for another time. But they're the ones who discovered Magi. Basically, they've debunked magic was actually magic. It's just another science that a lot of races don't actually understand. But people can do it nevertheless, if you get what I mean. I'm still down for giving you tips in art. I'm not a master or anything, but I do know some things. Yeah, no, it's great, because like jamming with music, I am willing to learn. So give him flat shoulders, skinny up his body a bit. There we go. So they've got quite petite bodies, so I want to make sure that's like very clear within my drawings. There we go. Just skinny out his arms a bit. Sleeves are always baggy like wizards. I guess rendo anatomy, actually, funnily enough, are kind of like, in a way, like elves. Like that's how their anatomies are, and elves are actually a distant cousins of them, race-wise. Like they have sort of the same build, but their anatomies are a bit different in a lot of respects as well. Like elves can partake in magi, obviously, but they have weaknesses of whatever magi they come up with. As for rendos, they could take up any magi and not be weak, have that sort of magi weakness, the magic weakness. So for example, they take up water, they won't be weak to electric, but the kickback is they can't be as good at it, if you get what I mean. Like, they can do it, they can boost damage or whatever, but they have to have like sort of technology to amplify them for them. They can't have that sort of power that elves have, or control, as much control they have. They have to use technology to sort of amplify their abilities and control over it. So, which is why they wear sort of like robish things. It's sort of made out of materials and tech being implanted into them that helps them get control better over it. So yeah, like I say, even though they're super smart and that, they're not particularly like great in battle. It's more their technology that makes them great, if you get what I mean. So they're kind of one of those races. They kind of outthink their opponents more than out-tech them or whatever. It's they outthink. They know what they're doing. So if we put a sort of learning stick, because I'm going to use these guys in lore videos, hopefully, like when, you know, Vamp Lost gets a little bit bigger, and I can get like staff in to sort of help me produce these videos to a higher quality level and do some lore videos on the side on separate channels and stuff like that. It's kind of like my plan about it. I've got like a whole plan for this franchise. And make hands a little bit more petite. There we go. We'll put like a black garment, because they wear sort of like really tight, skin tight sort of suits underneath, like for the top half, but second half they have like sort of short things, so they can embed them instead of tattooing themselves. They can embed the or paint on the clothing to use Magi better, stuff like that. Like, these guys are super smart. They're not stupid. Like, tattooing, they know not to do that, because they would just end up with that spell forever, and it would just have rebounds happening. And they hate rebounding things. So yeah, we need to sort of slender their suits a bit. Yeah, that's better. And then, yeah, there we go. Yeah, it's getting there. So yeah, anyways, about the Four Realms and that, like, before I went into this rant and stuff, my brain just stopped there. Okay, so we've done the basic clothing for Rendo male. Now we need Rendo female. Oh god, I haven't done the hand yet. Whoopsies. Tattooing. Who has tattoos? Oh, no, I mean, Rendo's Magi can be activated in various different ways. You can, people use spells. They don't, even Rendo's today, they don't know how spells cut atoms, but there you go. They have some theories on that, but they don't completely understand it. Tattoos is a prominent way of doing it, embedding it with atoms that are particular of that element. So when they tattoo it on their bodies, they can use it. What inspired you making this? Either making manga or comics, period, making this particular series? Ah, that's a good question, actually. Well done for asking that. I'll tell you what, it started when I was about 13. Obviously, Manga Cetra knows this story because he's asked me this question already. But, yeah, I was 13. I started doing a little comic series called Master of Changes. There you go, new fact there about myself. And I was inspired by, like, Stan Lee and Spider-Man and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, my teacher pointed out that my work was more manga style. And this is at the point as well where I was drawing like 40... If you remember the 40k comics, if anyone played Warhammer, I used to draw these beautiful drawings that used to come out from the magazine called White Dwarf. And yeah, I did pull punches on violence, obviously, but what can you do? Oh god, Tommy just rumbled. So yeah, I literally was reading Spider-Man comics. I was doing the White Dwarf drawings at the same time while drawing Marvel, so I was quite versed in my style at that point. And my teacher pointed out it was more manga style than anything. So I thought, oh, okay, what is manga? course, this is where I was exposed to Pokemon, but I didn't know Pokemon was manga. So please don't kill me for that. I was 13 and I was like, sort of naive at the time. And so when I started getting exposed, my first manga was Hellsing. And I did try to write a manga called Archangel. Didn't work out. Gemino was the hero, Nikkei was the villain, but not the main villain. And I had to admit, I was willing to quit at that point. And then this was all within the year that this happened. After I stopped Master Changes because I didn't want to do superheroes anymore. When I was about to quit, I looked down at Nikkei and realised he had a lot more character to him than Gemino. And Gemino was more of a generic hero, like really boring, really generic. Nothing actually interesting about him at all. And yeah, that's when I started to do concept for Vamp the Lost Soul. I started, instead of basing it in a fantasy world, I based Vamp the Lost Soul on our world, and how the world works, based on my beliefs, but very, very exaggerated. Stuff like that, because I studied a lot of religion at the time as well, and I was searching somewhere to, what's the word? Sort of be spiritual, in a way. Like, I was trying to find what my spiritual belief was, because I stopped believing in being a Christian. And yeah, I was going through a rough time at that point. My granddad died, I remember, and I idolised the hell out of him, and yeah, it was very rough. And then slowly but surely, Nikkei and the split personality concepts, Gemino and the God complex concept, and I started redesigning Gemino completely as a human. Nikkei became a half vampire human, and then these other characters started sprouting as I started role playing on sites and testing different characters out, and that's how Vamp the Lost Soul developed. It's been inspired mostly by Hellsing because of the violence and the dark storyline. Then Bleach for the action, because I think the action sequences are absolutely fucking awesome. And then Naruto for character development, because I know a lot of people kind of bash on it, but if you watch the character development from beginning to near the end, Naruto does develop really quite a bit, and I like how they developed him. One Piece has a bit of inspiration here and there, but for character development wise, but other than that, like, that would be my main core of inspiration. Sorry, it was a very, very long story, and it probably bored you a little bit, but yeah, that's how Vamp the Lost Soul came to be, and that's where the inspirations came from. It came from a bit from everywhere, because I was quite exploring period at the time, and then in college I explored more, and I had to scrap like some of the story elements. So yeah, there you go, like, that's how it worked. So, right, we're going to give her a bit of a messy hairdo. We're going to do that, and then there we go. Give her sort of a, yeah, sort of a Yu-Gi-Oh hairstyle. Haven't done any characters like that in a long time. No, we're not going to do that. I think we're going to do that, and then give her sort of a wild hairstyle. Yeah, there we go. Just make our hairstyle a bit more wild. There we go. I was thinking my favourite action anime was Fullmetal Alchemist, simply for story and characters. Yeah, I have to admit, I wasn't exposed to Full Metal till very later on, so the inspiration does come in late at some points. But if you actually think about Magi, Magi is literally atoms, and as we see atoms as science, because yes, I stole a bit from science and twisted it in my own image. Atoms are sort of like as we see now, they're just atoms and that's it, and you split it and big kablooey. But that's our understanding of it. But Rendo's understanding, each atom has an element in them. So when they split it, that's how spells happen, that's how abilities happen and stuff like that, and genes with magi properties. You got alright, Manga etc. Before I carry on, go and watch FMA Brotherhood, because that follows the mangas more. You'll see what I mean. So yeah, no, I was going to give a bit of Ichimaru eyes there, but there we go. If we give her sort of that sort of eye look, because I think that would suit her. If we do a bit too low, so if we do that and then that and then that, FMA is pretty awesome. Yeah, especially Brotherhood. Brotherhood, like I say, sticks to more of the manga more, but it's just such a good series. You got to do it, and please, Manga etc. review the hell out of that. You would love it, like, and it has some pretty intense moments. I know I shouldn't really be telling you what to review, but seriously, like, that is the anime. If you're gonna review any, that is definitely something you got to put on your review list. There we go. Rubber. If we do that again, there we go. I'll tell you what, her eyes are starting to remind me of Ichimaru out of Bleach a little bit, actually. My manga is about a half vampire and half human called Nikea, but he thinks he's completely normal human. He doesn't know about any of the Vamp the Lost Soul stuff, not about the Four Realms and nothing. He just thinks he's an ordinary human in an ordinary Earth, as we see it. But one day, some guy with some evil god complex named Geminio destroys literally goes around his house while he's out, kills his parents, and by the time he gets back, he finds out he's not just a half vampire, he's a nightmare king, and part of his responsibility to keep the realms balanced. And he's like, WTF, and his mind breaks down, and this other personality gets born. So while Nick's trying to struggle to survive, at the same time, Nick has to deal with him being a nightmare king, half vampire. Obviously, this other personality that's within him now, because of all, it's just basically mentally broken down. And he finds out like this wasn't his first set of parents, because that was his adopted, and his original parents got killed by the same guy as well. Like, all this just gets bomb dropped on him, and he just breaks down. And during the fight, like, abilities start kicking off. He freaks out, and later on in the manga, like, Nikea's not one of those characters. He will not start out strong, and Manga etc. has reviewed it. So if you want to know what it's about, go watch Manga etc.'s videos and reviews on it. Sorry about that. I'm gonna unplug you in a minute if you keep fussing on me. There we go. Sorry, I'm threatening my stick drive thing. So if it keeps blooping on me, I will shut it off. Yeah, so watch his reviews. I have my Facebook page that explains what happens a little bit in it, stuff like that. But Manga etc. kind of nails the review quite to the T. But yeah, seriously, check out his review. You'll find out more what it's about there. But it's totally chaotic. And if you don't want a character who starts out really fucking strong, this is the manga for you. Like, he will start out like having his ass handed to him quite a lot of the time, and then he'll get stronger as it goes along, as he learns more about his responsibilities, the world that's not really what it seems. Whose review? Manga etc. He's in the chat. Manga etc. If you feel free to link into a review, that'd be fine. But yeah, he's in the chat. He's called Manga etc. I just plugged you in, dude. Yeah. Do we ever find out how Jamelia killed Nikea's parents, but he gets away in chapter 0? Yeah, you do, but that's kind of longer down the line when, because otherwise, if you find out how his parents get killed, you find out this and this and this, and it's kind of spoilery for what I have planned ahead. Actually, funnily enough, Jamie, to answer your question, and this is a true story, me and Manga Etc. didn't actually independent reviewer. I have tried, but I'm pushing, trying to get reviews. I even went to Comistorian for it, but sadly he hasn't got back to me. So yeah, so I don't know if he's still dealing with stuff or whatever. But actually, Manga Etc. is an independent reviewer. I wasn't his friend to begin with. Exactly. I was actually about to explain that. Well, explain, Manga Etc. So yeah, it started out as a business relationship, actually, more than anything with me, Manga Etc. Like, I asked him to review my manga, and he said, "Oh, you know, not being funny. I've got my channel, blah blah blah." Understandable stuff, obviously, like. And I said, "Okay, fair enough. So if I try working this deal, if I give you to do this giveaway, and I give you your copy as well, how about we start from there? And if people enjoy it, we get more reviews throughout the day." I'll say me and Manga Etc. are sort of friends now. Yeah, we're sort of friends. Yeah, I want to meet him up on a more personal level instead of talking about business all the time with him, because every time we've met up and talked, it's always been about the book or reviews or giveaways, stuff like that. So yeah, so you know, just to answer your question, Jamie, he is an independent reviewer. And literally that's how I met him, through the reviews, and we've only like literally starting to get close. So yeah, if you want a fair review, like literally he does give a fair review, and he has actually pointed out a few bits and called me out on a couple of bits. So don't be afraid, he won't give me a fair review. He will, trust me on that. James is in my good books. Why is there a text layer there? There we go. Anyways, and then but yeah, also there's another reviewer. Well, she won a book through Manga Etc. in the first giveaway we Manga Etc. did with my books. And she's reviewed it as well, so if you want to check out her channel as well. But anyone that ends up reviewing my manga, I kind of get in close contact with, so essentially that benefits people in a way that I could turn around and say, well, this is what I'm doing, do you want in? Essentially that's why I get close to reviewers, and that not just, you know, to get free, just to get reviews out of them, but to kind of say, look, I've got this going on, do you want in on it, and stuff like that. So when I do events, it kind of works out better for everyone all round, in a way. There we go. And there we go. But it's nice to have questions like this, Jamie. I'm not like trying to correct you in any way, but it's nice to have questions like these so I could put your mind at ease when we have these conversations, because I would rather have these conversations than someone going, oh, just because you know him personally, and yeah. But yeah, I mean, Manga Etc. is good books. Hold on. Hello. Oh god, the dogs and the cats just burst away in, and now they. I'm looking down at my, like, literally, my cat is being bullied by my dog. Oh, wait, stop bullying the cat. The cat wants to get her food. Come on. Leave her alone. My cat wants biscuits as well. There you go. Come on. Come on, up. Good girl. There we go. So yeah, you just witnessed me just now. Had to sort my cat out. Right, where's put a tablet. I'm going now. Good luck with this on this manga. Thank you. Hopefully I'll see you soon. Feel free to share, obviously, and hopefully you'll become a new regular, because I do like me regulars. There we go. Long as reviewer discloses they know the developer is fine. Ethnics is important as a reviewer. Yes, it is true. Like I say, we have only just started to get to know each other, obviously. But I always expect a fair review from manga, etc. So if he does call me out on anything, I could try to explain it, or if I look at it and go, oh crud, I need to improve on that. You know, so it's not like, you know, he's giving me the good reviews for the hell of it. Like, he will say if there's something wrong with it. Obviously, my P-take of Apple. I think Manga Etc. recognises this. This is going to be a little bit Easter egg from the first book. Do you recognise his logo? Does anyone recognise the Easter egg? As long as, yeah, I've already read that. Sorry, I thought there was a new comment. I'm just going to share this link a little bit around now, just to... do you mind if I share it with your chat, by the way? You think you do? Yeah. Oh, you don't think you do? If you noticed it, I did a P-take of the... Jesus Christ. My brain just went flat. The iPhones. Instead of iPhone, I put e-candy on any like sort of Apple looking product, so the logo is like a candy looking confused or smiling. Essentially. There you go. So that's actually a throwback to the first book of me sort of like taking the Mickey. So I'm just opening Discord now, if you don't mind me sharing it. There we go. We'll share this post around a little bit more as well, around Facebook. Google Plus, I tend not to really share on there as much, admittedly, only because I notice I get like I get more attention on Facebook for my posts than anything else. Share it in a group. There we go. Come join us. Post. My mouse kicked back when it shouldn't do, so forward. And I'll share one more time. There we go. Sorry, someone just messaged me because it's about the sign-in. Hopefully, I'm doing in sort of hopefully end of January, beginning of Feb. So, there we go. And share one more group. And we'll share. Anime UK conventions, Manga Western Comics United. Paste. Oh, no, sorry, come join us. There we go. Post. And one more for your group. Is Discord up yet? Was Discord just being a new? Discord's been a new, isn't it? Yeah, it's been a new. Oh my. I really need to get a team to start helping me share this. Where's your weeb group? There we go. Please feel free to join me. There we go. There we go. I already share it once. There we go. Back to this. There we go. Draymond mentioned it how I know James. The first video I did this one ago, so I just shoot my subs now. One thing I know about sharing content on Facebook, sharing too much will actually prevent people from being able to see it. It's because Facebook detects sharing. Really? Now that is something I didn't know. Thank you for letting me know that. Actually, that's kind of sucks actually, because if you want to get out there, that kind of like, how can I put this without being arsey about it, like, or salty, like, kind of cock blocks people, if you get what I'm saying. When it hides, it kind of just doesn't bump up people on Facebook, so sharing it once or twice is fine. Sharing it multiple times without sharing it to groups, it just will not show up. Ah. Thank you for letting me know that, actually. So yeah, if we do that instead. Yeah, so oop. So we get the rub all this out. There we go. So it's just basically done bump. So basically, don't share the same post on your own wall or groups multiple times. Sharing it once per group. Yeah, I'll do that once per group. Well, if it's a friend shares it, it's fine. But do multiple times, it gets screwed. It's an anti-spamming thing, analysis thing, prevents it. Yeah, no, I only share it. I share like the post only once per group. So I do kind of balance it out, if you get what I'm saying. But thank you for the tip. But yeah, I'll always make sure you do it once per group, because one, the admins do get funny about it, so I don't want to pee them off. But yeah, thank you for the tip. There we go. There we go. Need to sort out that hand a little bit. A bit too thick. By the way, if you make a new post too soon within each other, the same effect will apply. Oh, okay. Yeah, I know what you mean. This is why I try and encourage people to share it more than anything. Is so if you share it with your friends and that, and then it helps me out quite a lot and stuff like that. So, you know, and like I say, and the reason I do live is so people can interact with me, really, when it comes to all this. So, push that finger up a little bit higher. Oh, I see where I've gone wrong with these fingers. Hold on. Oh, oh crap. There you go. Another thing, if you post a link too often or something on Facebook, people think it's spammy. Yeah. Any ideas what I could do for a 200 sub special? Oh! Come to think of it, any ideas what to do on your 200 sub special? Maybe do an interview with someone who's actually been doing manga, or someone who, you know, been reviewing it. I don't know, like, you could do plenty with that. So you know what, I'm going to do something like this. And then yeah, that's a lot better. Pardon me. Review Black Bible. Oh God, no. Yeah, maybe try and, like, say, get. I don't want to do some series of specific. Just supposed to be something for everyone. I would say ask your audience, really, more than anything. Like, if you're gonna do something like that, I would say, like, ask them and see, like, oh, do you want interviews, or do you want tips on how to get your book started, or, you know, like, actually ask general questions. What do people would like to see for the 200 episode? Would it be, and give them, like, sort of 4 options, like an interview episode, a how-to episode, you know, tips episode, you know, stuff, general stuff like that. I'm going to tilt that elbow up a bit, actually. So it's a bit too distorted, as they say. Yeah, that looks kind of fine. True. I did actually think of that. I was actually going to suggest that to Manga etc., but I didn't want to say anything, really. Because some people, like, it's their channel, so you don't want to, you know what I mean, step on their toes, as the book, as the saying goes. Yes and no. go. There we go. Let's have a look. That a bit baggier. Yeah, exactly. There we go. There we go. That looks alright, doesn't it? That looks a lot better. Now I can ink it, pretty much. Now I've got the rough. Let's rub that out. I was just suggesting, due to already your working channels out, could be something that highlights yours. True. Or maybe even like I understand what you're saying, but the view for any indie series won't be that high. True, that could be a thing, unless you. I'll tell you what you could do, Manga Etc. Actually, trying to get the viewers up for the indie side of things. Do a different day for indie review. So you got your usual review days. We do your normal manga reviews, your major ones. Just as an idea, then it's the best way to get views in. I was going to say, like, do like an indie day, like sort of maybe like a indie Thursday or whatever for your reviews. And then what you can do before you start it is ask around and ask your fans, like, sort of what sort of indie manga have they read and what do you want me to review. Then you can develop that through the fan base, so the fans are sort of choosing what they get to you to review, if you get what I mean. It's kind of a weird way of putting it, but yeah, sort of giving people the power to choose kind of gives it a bit of a kick, if you get what I mean. It's like for my live Let's Draws, when people sign up for Patreon, people can vote what I do on each live Let's Draw. Sadly, I haven't got any yet, but I think when they do, I think they'd be more than happy to sort of vote on what I do, essentially, which hopefully should lead up to better things, hopefully. And then I get an idea what people what they would want out of out of my channel, sort of thing. Oh, there we go. Do the pupils. There we go. Let's make that brush a little smaller. There we go. But it's your choice, by the way, but I'll say then, if you're not too sure, do it as a test thing and give people the vote. Then at least then, if people no one votes, then you know no one would want it. So, sort of like a win-win, essentially. Just give our subs the power to choose, but I don't have the subs that leave comments. Just watch, maybe leave them be on their way. Not ungrateful, just say, yeah, true. like I say, people might not comment, but just given the power of choice, can sort of encourage engagement. That's what I meant. It's fine, you know. If you don't want to do that, it's cool. It's understandable because it's a risk versus reward, really, from the point of view you're looking at, which is that is fair game. Where's my rubber? There we go. Just clean it up a little bit. Not looking too bad so far, but I'm going to make that collar definitely smaller. That's better. That looks a lot more cleaner. There we go. Do-do-do. I get that. Because I'm such a saturated mic, it's becoming big isn't my aim. No, that's fair enough. You know, it's like some people aren't big, but they're trendsetters. Like, you know, they kind of start the trend for things, if you get what I mean. I get what you're saying. There we go. There we go. Pop that out a bit just to give it a bit more of an edge. And use the rubber to sort of not make it look generic. There we go. Just a bit more. There we go. Just line manipulation, really. There we go. There we go. There we go. They look quite lanky, which is good, because that's the look I was going for this race. Sort of like a sort of lanky look. I won't turn into another indie artist if they offer me the right deal. I'll turn down if they offer me a deal. Yeah, pretty much what we did. That's how, you know, I got my review from you. Is I did a deal with you. I said, look, if you want to do this as a giveaway, do you want to review it? That was pretty much how me and him got started. And I think it is a fair trade, to be honest, especially if you want to get out there. Like, I think you've got to give reviewers something to grab onto and something to use, an incentive. That I agree. I think it is good business practice to do things like that. like with your artwork. I know it kind of sucks to kind of put your work into business, but you kind of have to if you really want to get out there. And you got to treat it a little bit as such. Not to the point where you change the story and that, but to the point where, yeah, you're going to have to make a few compromises along the way, sort of thing. Oh, pardon me. Apologise for that. Burped a little bit there. There we go. Yeah, you should. Hold on. Weeb. I love that word. If we just use the rubber here for a second and just actually clean these lines up. There we go. Yeah, because I'm basically going to use these for like lore videos. Yeah, that arm looks a lot better, slanted down. There we go. Get in. There we go. Anyways, I'm just me, I'm not a label. No. I don't know, I can see a label on your forehead, Manga, etc. I see through the camera. Anyways, no, joke. All jokes aside. We're all geeky. We all have a bit of weeb inside us. Because if only you're just one of us. Humour is allowed here. Just keep it clean. As they say. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. Is that just me or that hand looks a bit... There we go. Then... there we go. Yeah, there we go. Very wizardy look. Weebs are mostly a joke term taken too serious. do not be taken too seriously. Once a weeb, always a weeb. Yeah, weeb. One of us. One of us. Where was that from? Was that Recess, if I remember as a kid? It was, wasn't it? Like, one of us. Oh, something's wrong here. I'm going to have to put the back into it, I think. That's... it's a bit hunchy. Need to straighten that line out a bit. There we go. Rubber. There we go. Right, now time for you. previous type of people anime in my manga take on more Jogger Tito weeaboo. It's kind of a self-awareness of the idea of you liking anime. That's what weeaboo is. Why are you drawing Harry Potter characters? Am I? Didn't even notice that. Ooh, damn it. No, it's definitely... Is it? No, I have to admit, like, their suits are a little bit wizardry, but that's what they're kind of based off. They're based off also, like I say, if everyone played Final Fantasy X, Seymour's costume as well. That's what Rendos wear, really. And to be honest, they were the first sentient race in the Vamp Lost Soul universe. Well, world, I should say. Right, if we actually do that. Just, hold on. We do it like that instead. And then rubber. That, there we go. I'm an otaku. It's a funnier word. It's also what happens when not identifying with labels. He lied. That's what happened. He lied. Lol. There we go. There we go. Oh shit, I forgot how to explain how the Vamp Lost Soul world works. Throughout the whole time I've been getting engaging in conversation. I've been explaining the lore. Well, I've explained bits of it, but yeah, I haven't gotten too much in the explaining side, which is a bit of a whoops on my part. Right, we're going to make this brush even smaller. There we go. Better. Tut tut, James. I know. I never lie. I just mislead the truth. Lies. Lies. Oh, like Vader's Zim goes. Lies. I'll start grabbing on that once I've refreshed myself. I normally shouldn't do this in the middle of a live Let's Draw, but I am right now. I'm busting. That's the problem with live. Things can go wrong at any second. When you think you've sorted yourself out, it doesn't happen. Your body just goes, nope, don't like you today. Pretty much. It's pretty much what's happened. Just doesn't like me today for whatever reason. There we go. What's confusing that is in real life atoms are made out of molecules which make up elements, so this is still thinking your world. Was the science or is that science? Yes, that is true. They do make up the elements and all that, but Rendos have sort of discovered, in a way, sort of because she's looking up. Sorry, just realised. The Rendos have discovered actually the elements are within the atoms that kind of make the elements, if you get what I mean. I kind of put my own twist on atoms, basically. That there's a deeper thing into atoms inside the atoms, if you get what I mean. So the element that are in the atoms do make the elements, if you get what I mean. Because when they split, that's when the element ability happens or certain reactions happen. Rendos have like stupid amounts at HQ. Even I'm trying to comprehend what I'm making up and I can't even comprehend it. Yeah, exactly. Rendos have like, oh Jesus, I need to look up my synopsis to tell you what their IQ goes up to. Hold on. I'm going on there now. The only reason you don't see it on the screen is because I'm recording my tablet screen. Am I not logged in? Crap. Right, I'll tell you the fastest way to find it. Vamp Lost Soul. Done. One of these art will be in the group. There we go. Just one of these things that don't belong here. To be honest, I should be explaining this bit by bit, but I've explained a lot of it in one hit, which is a bit overwhelming, to be honest. But anyways, let's click on here. Oh, I've got 54 members. I didn't even realise that. Anyways, here we go. The synopsis. So I'm just reading through it. The Rendos have an IQ. I'll tell you what. I'm gonna copy and paste this. Just this segment. This will explain it in one hit. That would make life a lot easier if you guys read it. I think it is way over 1,000, but yeah. Oh, apparently too many words. Alright, if I just slam this in the comment section. Or do I do this in segments? We're going to do it in segments, if I can. If not, it's just going to be an epic fail. Yeah, it's an epic fail. Okay, we're just going to copy that again. And I'm going to post it. Oh, there's no comment section. It's just all live chat. Poop. So I've got to be really careful where I cut and paste. So, paste. And this is actually part of my synopsis I did like a long time ago. So, right. If we cut. Paste. This is going to take some while. Not if I actually play it smart, actually. So, half of that. So, that should be it. Cut. Paste. There we go. Sorry for like the readathon, but cut. Literally, I am literally cutting and pasting the whole thing. Cut, paste. I'll give you the link probably, guys, like to the whole thing, so you can cut, paste, paste. I'm literally like cut, paste. Cut, paste. Jesus, cut, paste. Literally, I'm like cut, paste, and that's it for the rendo. Literally, that is the segment about the windows. That whole segment is about the windows. I can, like I say, if you want the link, let me know. I'll be back in 5 minutes. I actually need the loot. I apologise for this. Back. I am really sorry about that. I literally was really desperate. So, The problems of live, you unpredictability of it. There's a way to pause the live stream. Oh. Whoops. I apologise for that. I really do. But yeah, if you want the link to the whole synopsis of Vamp the Lost Soul, please let me know. It is a bit of reading, but it get you. That was quick. Yeah. No, I'm quite quick when it comes to stuff like that. So, yeah. Sorry about that. But yeah, if you want the link to the synopsis, it actually gives you quite a lot of the lore of Vamp the Lost Soul and some of its history. So, there we go. There we go. I am quick. That's what she said. Keep it clean. Keep it clean, manga, etc. We don't want the kiddies to get scarred for life, do we now? Actually, don't answer that question. I couldn't help it. It's fine. It's fine. Keep it PG-13. PG-13. God damn it. Even though my manga, ironically, is 17 up, so makes me question why I've got my manga rated here and I'm rating this all PG. It's quite a funny thing, actually. Tell you what, we'll do this a bit more sensibly. There we go. Do it like ropes. There we go. Anyways, yeah, as I was explaining, the lore behind Vamp the Lost Soul, if you want a link to the synopsis, just let me know and I'll slam it on here. So when do we start meeting for the other 3 realms? Ah, interesting. About the other kings and queens, basically. I believe I think the second arc after the Bounty Hunters, you'll be meeting the Hell Queen. I won't mention names, but yeah, you'll be meeting the Hell Queen. I believe the other 2 you might, I might try and sneak in behind the scenes and see if you catch on to who they are, but I won't guarantee that. But I guarantee the Hell Queen will come on after the Bounty Hunter arc. So yeah, you got that to look forward to. I won't say when or what volume, but she's coming. And the other 2, which I won't genderize because I think I would spoil too much for you guys. I don't want to spoil you guys too much. That person will be coming. Them 2 will be coming later on, I would say. You won't meet them now, but it will be later on. But the other one you'll meet pretty soon. we go. But yeah, as I was saying, about the realms and all, talking about the realms, because that was the first thing I was supposed to be on about today. How the world works, the world is balanced by the 4 realms. Obviously, Manga Sutra knows this, because he's read the first volume, which is, the 4 realms are Nightmare, Dream, Heaven, and Hell. And, oh, Carrier on me in my game is a vampire, but she's warm-blooded, so she doesn't even drink blood often. So we may scrap her being one, or just make it very vague of what she is. Oh, that'd be interesting. So you are doing your own story. That'd be quite cool to see. But yeah, as I was saying, the 4 realms, Nightmare represents all negative emotion. Dream represents all positive emotion. Hell represents all physical, basically all the physical bad stuff that happens, disease, pain, stuff like that, actual physical stuff. And Heaven is all the positive stuff, like cures, stuff like that, anything that is physically good for you or the world or whatever. So like trees and all that stuff, when death represents death, disease and stuff like that. So yeah, so you got your 4 realms, and each of them balance the other out. So they're not against each other in any way. Their job is actually to balance each other out and make sure the world lives in sort of a symbiotic harmony in a way. So for example, if something is too good and you got too much life, Hell kind of responds to that by making too much death. So yeah, or there's something too positive, something gets knocked down by something bad. So they kind of balance each other out in a way. Have fangs so and be so dumb that she thinks it's, yeah, vampires are true. It doesn't though. She's just really stupid. Oh. I might have to read that because that sounds like a really good comedy actually. And we need to give Rendos, of course their nails are longer than the average. Another difference between elves and Rendos, they actually have longer nails. I keep forgetting to draw in them for Rendos. But yeah, the realm's job are to keep everything at balance, keep the world going, stuff like that. So through all that fun stuff. They have lady nails. Actually, they have pointing nails for a reason. Like back in the day, before they had technology to help them split the atoms and use elements and stuff like that, like their nails were actually so thin it could actually cut an atom, and this is why their pupils are made the way they are, because they can see the atom and then cut it to perform spells. So it looks like hand gestures to a normal person, but he's actually like, and it causes fire. Quite interesting bit about the Rendos actually, and I actually made that canon. But Rendos don't kind of use that anymore because it's, to them it's obsolete, even though it does has its bloody uses. Yeah, cool. There we go. She's a girl. Go on the photos. I posted it in the dev chat. Oh, cool. There we go. There are two characters. Are these two characters canon? Yes, they are. But they kind of won't be showing up really in a manga. Like, they might show up every now and again to be as Nick's tutors, just to teach about the world and that. But other than that, like, they don't hold any... Oh, that hand's bad. Rub out. They don't really serve any significant plot, if you get what I mean. Like, they're just there as sort of... You know, like how tutorial there as Undertale as a tutorial guide. There they are, like the tutorials of the Vamp the Lost Soul world. If I ever have a game, these two would be like the tutorial characters. I feel best stick to the template, which is annoying. Lol, cool. Yeah, they're kind of like the tutorials. Haven't come up with names for them yet. It'll have to be rendo names, obviously, because they've got their own language, but I need to come up with their names. So if we do that and then mitten it, what I do a mitten as a test hand, really. Those fingers are way too long. So right, that's where hand is, and then there we go. Yeah, so anyways, as I was saying, where was I? So we've got the 4 realms. I've said about that. I said what their basic function is. And you have the realms, kings and queens, to kind of carry out the balance physically, while the gods, the nightmare god of nightmares, heaven, blah blah blah, there's 4 of them, of gods as well as 4 nightmare kings and queens. The gods are kind of do the spiritual side, but they never come to Earth unless it's like a severe emergency. But even then, they have to possess a body so they don't hurt the planet with their physical form coming down. So, and plus, ultimately, it just kills the person. So it's the replacement for Apple VTLS is E-Candy. Yeah, it is. It is the E-Candy. It is basically my P-take of Apple, essentially. Short vinegar, make that shorter, and that little finger is, yeah, there we go, and then we'll rub that out, and then actually start detailing the fingers. But yeah, it's the E-Candy, it's just because it just saves copyright and stuff like that. As much as I want to base it off our world as much as I can, like stuff like that, it's just like, yeah. Hold on. There we go. But yeah, it is like the E-Candy is pretty much my parody of the Apple products that I do take the mick out of quite often. Confused look on its face. There we go. The candy. Ta-da! Representing the e-candy. Out in stores now. Go and buy them before you break down. There we go. There we go. And down we go. Yeah, so that's how the realms kind of work. You got the gods, you got your they're doing the spiritual stuff, you got your kings and queens, and they're supposed to like sort of maintain the balance sort of thing to make sure the world doesn't go too astray, otherwise the world will end up literally dying because the balance would be broken. There are races that do ally with them to help them out with this. You got your Grim Reapers, which are spirit sort of creatures, and they're not like skeletons and that what you think of. They're actually like tattooed dudes. They're like born, have a spiritual manifestation, and they come like have a physical body, and their bodies are like white like humans. They look like humans, they're white, and their bodies like covered in tribals. So sort of like that's their like fingerprint, because they can't have fingerprints and that obviously because they're spiritual beings. Their sort of fingerprint is literally the tribals on their face downwards, and then they get separated into 4 cards having individual jobs to help out with the realms and have combat roles basically if they deal with a sort of rogue spirit that refuses to be reincarnated sort of thing, and it sticks onto the earth. So in a way they're just sort of like licensed to be a spirit and walk around and that, but as long as they do their duties as a reaper and help people move on and stuff like that and be reincarnated, because reincarnation is like a huge thing. It's like a recycling of your spirit which goes into another body sort of thing. So yeah, that's that Grim Reapers play a huge part of the balance. I'll tell you what, if I just slam down the link to the synopsis, you guys can give it a good read instead of me just copy and pasting it, because I put it on DA so everyone could read it. There we go. Here's the link, guys, and I'm going to pin that actually. No, I don't want to move it. I want to pin it. That's weird. Normally I can pin it. Yeah. I think I've read it before. Yeah, so basically it explains how it works. But yeah, you got your Nightmare class, which is your average warrior class that do all the legwork. Normally are the ones that chase all the spirits that refuse to move on and stuff like that. And then you got your Dream class, which I believe they're the techno. Yeah, they're the techno nuts, I believe. Hold on, let me double check. I'm gonna have to read the synopsis just to triple make sure. No, sorry. The Dreamcast are like the file people. So essentially, people can live so many lives, essentially, like within their spirit life. And you go through the process of being interviewed, and depending on what you've done in your past lives, you can be like whatever you want to be next. So, for example, if you only had one life, it'd be very limited. But if you had several lives, obviously, depending on what criteria you've done in your past life, you can fit in to be anything you like, from sentient to tree to whatever you want, really. Like, even if you want to be just a bee, you know, that's also a thing. Yeah, so Dreamcasts are like the paperwork people. They always worry a lot, but they specialise in magi, so they're more like the mages of the group if needed for certain Grim Reaper missions. If a spirit's like bit magi heavy to handle, yeah. So then you got your hell, which are like the buff boys out of the lot. You know, they prefer, you know, heavy artillery. They carry all the big weapons. Essentially, that's what they do. They kind of help out. Damn it. It's really not paint bucket. But yeah, they're like the heavy dudes. They carry like all the heavy paperwork to the Dreamcast and all that, in case files need to be transferred back and forth. Just in case. And then you got your Heaven lot, which are the tech nuts. They're the ones who come up with new equipment for the Reapers to use, and for all round, really, they are ones who specialise with tech. Oh, right, I'm gonna have to unplug this. Sorry, guys. You might hear another boop, 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 boop. There we go. Sorry, that was getting on my nerves. Yeah, so the Grim Reapers have that sort of responsibility, and between them, obviously, sometimes you make squadrons for really difficult, like, spiritual retrieval, stuff like that. Like, yeah, that's how I would describe the Grim Reapers. Jesus, that's covering a lot today. Like I say, it is a lot of information to take in, so if you want me to slow it down or re-explain something, I will. But like I say, the link there is for your leisure, reading at your leisure, as they say. Right, what's next? This bit here. Right, we're going to need a bigger brush. There we go. And then, yeah, there we go. Same for you. Oh yeah, need to do this bit next. The bodysuits, because they don't like showing their bodies, just their faces. Yeah, randoms get particularly funny about showing their bodies. They don't like that. I think it's like in their thoughts it's like sort of ew for some reason. Unless it's like for mating purposes, or you know, they're just that comfortable around you. So she like being nude around them is like they really look down upon that. And they wouldn't be happy with you if you did it in front of them. They were like, what the hell are you doing? Get out, sort of look. But yeah, is there any lore pieces that you might be a bit confused about? Because I feel like the realms, like obviously the kings and queens, are probably pretty much explained in a nutshell. I'll probably do like proper videos to actually cover this sort of subject, just to edit, undo. There we go. Oh, her finger's a bit, thumb's a bit bunny. There we go. There we go. Where does the series take place? Like what city? London. It takes place in London. Well, suburbs of London, really. Bexley Heath area at first. Moves up to like bigger locations, but mostly it's like the suburbs, like within Bexley Heath, Welling. They're the real suburbs of London, because I think, like, you know, as much London and all the famous places get a bit of the limelight, I just think they get a bit too much of the limelight. I think it's a bit. I just want to make it refreshing and, you know, say, look, you know, there's places around here as well. Maybe not as exciting, but, you know, we got stuff around here if you use your imagination. So yeah. And that's for that. Yeah, so it's kind of, like I say, set near London, but it's more the suburbs like Bexley Heath, Welling, Sidcup, places like that. Really, like the first saga right now is kind of based in what's going on in Bexley Heath, in the shopping centre. That's where the Bounty Hunter arc is pretty much kicking off. So yeah, but like I say, if you're interested in the manga, just let me know and I'll sort out something. I think you got the first volume in via the email if you want to read it. So I think I sent it to you because, like, no one else said anything, so you pretty much got it on by default. Right, let's take off the red. Yeah, that's starting to look pretty good. Looks a bit off in some places, I have to admit, but pretty good. There we go. There you go. Better do a bit more. There we go. There we go. That's it. And then we'll right, we'll do a bit more curve for her. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Apart from one bit, that neck shadow needs to be a bit more less thick. apart from that. There we go. I want an outfit like that, lol. Fair enough. It is the render outfit, and actually the color scheme depends on their soul element. So if one's more attuned, Rendo's more attuned to ice, their colors will be more of a light blue, white color. While one would be more attuned to fire, the other one would wear like reds and oranges and stuff like that. And the tips of their hair naturally are their soul element. So if you watch their tips, have their hair quite carefully, you'll find out their soul element. So I'm sort of same with their eyes as well, actually. Also, actually, a confusion I want to set aside for manga etc. Actually, funnily enough, layer is how the rules of a psychic get produced. Now, psychics obviously are very rare, as you know, manga etc. But this is a piece of information that everyone needs to know, because there was a misprint on book volume 2. Is when someone doesn't have a soul element nor animal, then they become that person becomes a psychic by birth to make up for the lack of soul element or animal. So just thought I'll throw that out there, because yeah, let's put it like that. Is it was a misprint, and I wanted to actually throw that out there. This is why I make a lore episode. Oh yes, because it's rubber. And we are going to go there. Right, we're going to make your outfits in more of a green colour. Okay, yeah, just I thought there was you did spot that misprint, and I have to admit, I turned around and I was reading it through, and I was like, oh, for sake. But yeah, there was a misprint, so I thought I'd put it out there right now, before any more confusion does get set, so when people watch this video, they'll be like, oh, so that's what I meant. Instead of, oh, okay, I'm confused. But yeah, that's what's supposed to happen. There we go. Pardon me. And right, the tips of your hair. Eye colour and oh god. Back to the black layer. That, and then we'll adopt that color again. Gonna have to go really close for this one. There we go. But yeah, so if you wondered, you know, why you were getting confused, that was pretty much why manga etc. Because there was actually a misprint, and I literally spied it after you kind of pointed it out without knowing it. So I do apologise for that absolute mix-up. Oh god. There we go. There you go. That's green. Yeah, so that's what I mean. I want to make an official apology for that because I didn't even spot that misprint till it was too late. So hopefully future prints, after I sell the first lot, will have the corrected thing in them, and I'll make sure that it will be pointed out. So there we go. Oh, and we need to clean up there, clean up there. There we go. Jess is psychic because reasons. Yeah, Jess basically doesn't have a soul element or animal, where most people who are born with a soul element animal. In other words, an element that they're more attuned to, and an animal, and an element that they're more, if they were going to use magic, they'll be a lot more comfortable using, if you get what I mean. So it's sort of like what the spirit weapon plays a part of. It is Nikai's spirit weapon is a scythe, because that is what he would be more comfortable with and more natural to learning. Same with soul element animals. So if someone is more attuned to dogs, they become more of a dog person. So, or like if they do transformation spells, that's the creature they'll probably most likely turn into, because it's easier on them, or have a familiar. So yeah, that's why Jess is psychic. Even though she has a soul weapon, it's the lack of soul element and an animal. That's why they become a psychic, which is why the famous psychic dude actually came up with the disciplines to essentially fill in that gap. So instead of having like a sort of soul animal, like they have a sort of discipline where they can concentrate their way, and they call it monkey style or whatever. Yeah, the zodiac disciplines. But the thing with psychics, they can only, even if they master them all, they can only use one discipline at a time during the fight. So it's like switching out equipment. If you think like Urza does when she switches out equipment during a fight, that's pretty much how Jess's psychic abilities work. She'll have to trade disciplines and stances, which means it takes her time to get used to that stance to essentially, you know, even though she's got potential to learn them all, she can only learn one discipline at a time, which causes a lot of problems in the long run. Hold on. Why is this not? Thank you. Where am I looking at? Something I was looking at that didn't have something. Yes. There we go. And as for you, we're gonna make you more attuned to. Yeah, we're gonna give you a sort of. Too cold. Warm. There we go. And bigger brush. You can attune to be more than one animal element. You can, but there is a technical way around it. Like with the Magi Temple, you can mix the, like the color. Alright, I'll explain this in a less complicated way as possible. You have your three main colors, don't you? Red, blue, and yellow, and you can mix them up to make other colors. Now, the way Magi works, because they are atoms, you can mix and resplit them to make sort of sub-elements. So, as Damien actually explained it, you kind of got it hit. Sorry, I apologise. You actually, Darwin, sorry to really murder your name, did get it in one hit. where you can actually mix them and split them into sub-elements. So someone who's more attuned to fire with their spirit element, they can mix it up with something else to be able to perform that spell. So some races are more adept in magic, they can actually be versatile as fuck, but some races like humans can be very narrow what they can use, but they can mix in others to kind of expand on their abilities, so to say. Like I say, Magi is a incredibly complicated subject on its own, because I had to literally work on the element table. Your natural animal will always be dog. For example, sorry, I'm making this total hypothetical scenario. If you're Solomon's dog, you are definitely more attuned to dogs. You can be more attuned to other animals as well and train yourself that way, but it takes training and takes a lot more time than your original spirit animal. And your spirit animal will always stay the same. It just means you're more adept at doing that than anything else. And also your soul animal does depend what you also specialise in combat as well. So like the psychic disciplines, it doesn't mean just because you're more attuned to that animal, it's just that animal, it's also attributes that animal represents. So say like an ox, for example, represents strength, and a fox represents cunning, stuff like that. So even though it doesn't make up who you are completely, but it does sort of say, look, this is where you could excel in, but you don't necessarily have to go down that path. Like I say, the lore is a little bit more complex when it comes to like soul element, animals, atoms, etc, etc, etc. But yeah, I was hoping to concentrate on one today, but since I've blasted through the 4 realms and that quite quickly, plus I've got synopsis to help me with that as well, so that explains everything quite nice and clearly in a nice wrapped bow. There we go. Like, questions like this would be more helpful, because then I know what you're confused about and I can actually explain it better. And like I say, and I will do videos instead of just like these Q&A lives, I will do like proper videos to explain it. Hopefully I will do it in the style like Ruby's World of Remnant, because I think the way they do their videos explain on their lore is quite good, and I want to do something like that. Rubber, where are you? So yeah, you can be attuned to it, but it takes a lot more training than normal, but it just means your spirit animal just means you're more attuned to that than most, if you get what I mean. It is a complicated question for a complicated answer. There we go. Also, it's just like everything plays a factor in it. Like the race you are as well plays, whether you're more attuned to it or you can learn it easily, stuff like that. Like even though you're attuned to it, it doesn't necessarily mean you can learn it. So that's another thing as well. So yeah, Vamp the Lost Soul, like I say, is a bit, its lore is a little bit complicated, but like say, the synopsis kind of gives you the better lowdown on it and explains it a bit better for the basics. But if you really want to delve into it, I like say one day I really do want to do a book on it, so people are all caught up on lore, so there's no arguments. There we go, just touch up a little bit there and there, and rub it. There we go. Down, down, deep and down. Stroke this a bit more. There you go. Just scribble that in. And there you go. Get the eyes done. Select, deselect, thank you, and rubber. There we go. But yeah, that's how generally being attuned to something works with your sign at the moment. It's like, yeah, you are going to be more skillful towards that, but it doesn't necessarily mean you can do it. It just means you just got a bit of a bonus. Think of it like a D&D game when you've got more affinity for something with your character. Yeah, you got more affinity towards that, you're more likely to succeed in it, but it doesn't mean necessarily you actually can do it. So there is always a risk that you can't do it, for either if it's your race reasons, that because you know genetics won't allow you to use things like that. Like werewolves, like apart from Rangfang, like werewolves were shit at magic. So even if their soul element was like ground and that, they can't exactly use it at all. Like, they were useless at it. But Rangfang is the first to kind of have it, but he can't exactly use it. It's more of a passive ability. But yeah, he is the first to be able to use it in that way, to actually make himself effective at it. Oh, and then that's it. There we go. But yeah, if you got any questions about VTLS lore, let me know. Because I think there is a lot of ground to cover, like especially when it comes to like how reincarnation works, how what happens after you finish your job as a Nightmare King or Queen, stuff like that. There we go. And now the other sleeve. we go. We need to tidy up that sleeve still. And let's see, we've got the, yeah, we've got that to clean up, and then there we go. And, there you go. And then we do that. But yeah, it's like, that's kind of how it works with Cybermen and animals. It's like interesting fact about nightmare kings and queens. When they are born onto this world, they actually give birth to a new soul. So all the nightmare kings and queens that come are actually newborn souls. And when they die for the first time, they go to, obviously, you know, the four realms, and as a reward to say, oh, thank you for, you know, looking after the realms, you can be anything you like. So ever since the first soul has been born, that's how it's been working. So yeah, that was a pretty interesting fact I put in there, because I thought, you know, then it makes it fair. And that's how new souls are born into the world, is when a nightmare king or queen next in line is born. Because nightmare kings and queens have this sort of thing going on where their bodies can incubate a new soul, or produce a new soul within their partner's body, and that's how it happens. The first souls really were sort of like if you talk about evolution, because that's how it's based, that's what I believe in. When the Big Bang happened, obviously you had the realms that were born, and then the molecules and stuff like that. And then that developed into the planet, obviously, for the Big Bang. And then that developed into the first life, which was like tiny pieces of bacteria. So they were the first souls to be born on the Earth, 4 of them. And then they started reproducing themselves, and then they started... You get what I mean. And then they multiplied into a rate where you had your first living beings. And then that carried on and on and on. And then when life became sentient, that's when the responsibilities had more, and then you had the creations of the nightmare kings and gods to actually keep everything a balance. And the first beings were obviously the Rendos, and then humans and vampires and that came after, due to, you know, genetics and all that fun stuff. But the Rendos were the first sentient race to be on the planet, when it comes to like two-legged. And they were the first to do culture, obviously, and, you know, teaching and stuff like that. That's why, like, they're so freaking smart. So yeah, that's what happened pretty much. It was evolution that pretty much kicked that off. And the planet evolved, obviously, while, you know, first it didn't need like kings and queens to keep things balanced, but as sentient life came, it needed to have a balance. So hence why they came out with the concept of kings, nightmare kings and queens, and heaven kings, queen, gods, and all that stuff like that. So yeah, that was how it happened. And the first soul were literally 4 of them, and it was literally like molecules. Science. So it is a bit of like fantasy and science, if you get what I mean. So I wouldn't really say sci-fi, just more of a mixture of the both of them. But there were first souls, there was 4 of them, hence 4 kings and queens of the realm, hence the realms and all that stuff. So right, since you're more attuned to water, we need to make you have watery colours. Dark Souls, lol. No, not Dark Souls. Though that would be quite funny. And that's why, like, that's how Grim Reapers were born, actually, because when Sentient Life started, it started to populate so much. They needed a way to, apart from the kings and queens, to control, like, the spirit population. So the Grim Reapers are there for anyone that tries to, like, sort of run away, in a sense, like, refuse to get reincarnated and that. So that's their way to keep track of people. Right, you are going to be more... We're going to go more air with you, so we're going to do a grey colour. So greens and browns. Greens and greys, sorry. Dark Souls. Sorry, that just made me chuckle a little bit. VTS edition of Dark Souls. Jesus. There we go. Oh. We're going to need bigger rubber than that. There we go. Huge shift. Don't forget the hue shift. I will do. This is not shading yet. Don't worry. This is all just basic colours. But yeah, it's just this Window's element is obviously air because of the greens and the greys. As if it was nature, it would have been greens and browns. So yeah. Oh. It's looking pretty good, by the way. Thank you. I hope you've learned something for the Vamp Lost Soul lore, obviously, and hopefully it helps you understand the actual manga a bit more better. Instead of just going, oh, this is a thing, and you're wondering why I haven't explained it, is I am actually planning to, at some point, hopefully, get, like, books out based on lore, so people can learn it, understand it, sort of like a Wikipedia. Makes me wonder if there are relationships in your manga. I like my romance. There is sort of relationships, but they're not like going on right now because the characters are essentially quite young. But you know, if you've read the first volume, then you can see there's sparks. There are sparks between people. There are sparks between a couple of people here and there. Obviously, when you read Volume 2, you get introduced to new characters, so new possibilities. Also, I always enjoy fan art and fan theories. I have to admit, like, when people make their theories, I have so much fun watching them. And sometimes I like to tease them by... That's my mum coming home. But I have teased people before with theories that they should have covered, if you get what I mean. Like, there is a poster before Volume 2 came out with the Bounty Hunter logo and there's hidden text. Like, I didn't want to say it outright now, but I thought, well, since no one's figured it out till now, I might as well tell them that there was hidden text within the picture. And I was trying to get Manga etc. and Jazz to figure it out. But yeah, now I've given another clue away. That should be able to make it 10 times easier to like find my clues on a history of a certain character. Nope. There we go. There we go. Yeah, it's looking getting there so far. There we go. We're going to save this. Save. I don't ship Jess and Nikea. If it was about Jaminio's age, I think I figured it out. Oh! No, I was talking about actually Mark 2 out the Bounty Hunter art in the second book. But, alright then. Hit me. What is Jaminio's age? Because I have severely hinted at this, like, quite several times. And even throughout the book, like, I've made some hints, especially towards the end of the second book. So, yeah, hit me. Right, what should I do next layer, for the next layer? Trying to think. You've done a video. Oh, is it during the second volume? Yes, I remember that. Maybe record it. Yeah, like, if you want to do a theory special, please go ahead, because I want people to figure things out. There's stuff I've hidden in there quite well, and people haven't clocked onto it. No, not theories. Right, skins, I think we're going to do now. Right, rendos. Right, we need to find a brown colour. Alright, so if we do that. Haven't seen it yet. No, it's because like I said, I've hidden, like, sort of details quite well. But they're not exactly within the volumes, though. Like, there are concept art that kind of lays hints towards certain characters. Oh. That was a bit weird. Right, Rendos have no pale skin. That's a bit too pale. Need to bit them up, flush them all out. Ah, there we go. Bit more flushed out. Okay. No, you haven't seen it yet. No, I haven't. Oh, need to go back to the last layer. Rubber. There we go. Clean up and clean up that a little bit. There we go. I'm gonna have to I haven't seen it yet, so you may have to link me, Manga Etc, to your video, and I'll have a watch. And I'll sit there smirking my face off. Yeah. Because I have to admit, with theories, I do love to be evil on. There we go. And there we go. Haven't edited yet, but I might have recorded it. Okay. There we go. And down we go here. Same here. Here's first layout. Clean, clean, clean. Right, there we go. And as for you, ooh. Nice try. Almost goofed it. Ooh, I might have to watch that. I'm guessing you got several theories. Like where the hell Marcus came. Marcus came? It's because of the show I've been watching recently. I apologise. MK2 came from. Okay, so we need a rubber and clean up again. You're right. Sorry, it's just something. My mum's dropped something. I was just making sure she was alright. Right, rubber, skin layer. No, just Jamino's age. Oh, okay, fair enough. There we go. Yeah. Oh god, the lava layers. Damn it. Do you know what? I hate it when I spot things I bloody didn't spot till the last minute. It's annoying at times. Jamio's age. Cool. I can't wait to see your theory. Oh, hold on. There we go. Ooh, that's a thing. I forgot to colour in something. There we go. Don't tell me if I'm right or wrong once you've seen it. Oh, I won't. I'll just sit there and smoke my face or and go. And say, ooh, well, no. No, I won't. Right, let's make your hair brown. My game at ages vampires race on scale over 10 years, you practically. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, see, the challenge is within guessing Jaminho's age, because he's practically human. He is human, pretty much. But the problem is that's very hard to identify their age during knowing the human lifespan. But I have given clues, and maybe I've given a little bit of clue of how can I put this? How he's been going on for so long. That's the only thing I could say. Really, without spoiling it too much. Ooh. There we go. And then there we go. So you keep the same biological structure as your physical peer, so since you TC, you're saying you're 16 years old. Have you? You should 16 years. Come to growth related. Oh, okay. It's kind of cool. Right, your hair on the other hand, you're blonde. So we go. There we go. And okay, so as for the rubber, so she's turned into Super Saiyan Blue. Oh god. She'd be dangerous if she's a Super Saiyan. I mean, if you're saying your character's like really stupid, I mean, could you imagine what she would do with that power? She'd probably sneeze and the whole universe blows up. Like the idea of it being white. File, save. There we go. Now, let's go back to that black layer, because that definitely needs to be cleared up. There we go. And rubber. Okay. Don't need to hissy fit at me, Photoshop. There we go. Now, since we've already done the hairs on this layer, I can actually get away with doing the rope here. So let's give it a bit of a ropey colour. Because it's black. Whoops. Switch. There we go. Oh, she has yellow hair. I like the idea of being white. To be honest, like Rendo's hair colour, they kind of don't dye their hair. So like most races, they won't dye their hair because they don't think it has any practical use. Some try it, but the tips obviously show out because they can't hide their tips. So to them, it's just absolutely pointless. Because it looks good white. That's why. But yeah. Rendo's getting actually white hair like humans anyways as they get older, so... Nah, they kind of stick to turn them like their natural colour more than anything. Like I say, they're a bit fessy like that. Fessy little buggers. That's why she's blonde, like... Maybe I should do a joke one time, like someone dyes her hair yellow, white or something. Probably Radfang be like a little shit or something. Let's make the tablet light grey so it looks like it's in a case. Sort of like blue-grey sort of thing. Alright, there we go. get back to the skin colour. Grab out. Back to that layer. Back to the skin layer. There we go. Oh, notice something. There we go. There we go. There. And file save. There we go. And let's see, we have a look. Just making sure like everything's in order before. Wow, I think we're already ready for the last colours. I forgot how simple rendos are to colour really. Let's see, so your element's water, so we want a bit more sea breezed. Make it like a sandy yellow. Just to represent, you know, like the sand sort of thing. Oh, of course, I need a new layer. Layer, new layer. There we go. Okay, so, and as for you, your engine oil roads, let's see, we got air. So we want, I think white for the rest of your colour scheme would actually be quite alright. Just make a dark grey in one area. There we go. And then the black layer, because obviously I've just realised something. Do it like that, that's better. And then use the rubber. Maybe not. Switch out for smaller brush. Smaller brush, thank you. There we go. There we go. Just wanted to do that for that bit. Yeah, we're going to keep that white. Same with the pointy stick. Yeah, I think we're going to do that. That means I'm going to have to take off this and then do the layer white. There we go. Oh, right, we're going to sort that out soon. Oh. Right, let's get back to these hair layers. Where's the rubber? There we go. And light green area. Needs a bit of touch up here and there. There we go. And then we're going to go for a display blue since our pen's quite thin. There we go. There we go. Rubber, where are you? Right, so I want the render outfit in the blue colour scheme. I want the water scheme. Because there's two types of blue outfits. It's the water scheme and the ice scheme. The ice scheme is more pale blues and whites, where the water scheme is more yellows, and more blues, obviously. Right, let's have a look. There we go. Now, oh, did it again. God damn it, James. Focus, boy. Focus, young James. Jesus, it's already half through already. But then again, I've slammed this as one huge episode, so there we go. And back to that layer. There we go. Sorry, I had to sort that out. Just saw that, it just had to be sorted. There we go. Yeah, water. So I say rendos wear colours usually to their soul element. One that the male's wearing is the air element, obviously because of the light green and the greys and the whites. So that's the brush I want. There we go. Oh, forgot white here. go. There we go. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Basic colours are done. Now let's do all the knickknacks. I think for this we're going to go for green for the eye candy logo. Forgot to do one sleeve. There we go. Clean up that sleeve a bit. Damn, I'm sleepy. Sleepy time soon. I'll tell you what, I'm starting to feel it as well, actually. Like, after a while, I just get a bit like, brain dead. There we go. We're going to make the nails black. So nails are actually naturally black. There we go. And green. We need you. No, we need that green. There we go. So 8 AM here. I went to bed at like 12 PM. Jesus, early in the morning, dude. That is way early. You must be from the US or something. Because I'm from the UK. There we go. Right, we're going to save that. There we go. We've got the rendos. I haven't given them a name yet, but I'll give them a rendo name soon enough. Should I shade them today? That's the question. Should I or shouldn't I? There we go. Because what I'm actually going to use these for is when I do finally the lore videos, I'm going to have them like either side. There won't be voice acted, it'll just be that, so just, you know, it's a VTLS learning lore video. So yeah. So the only thing is I'm going to move her. Oh, hold on. Select, deselect. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I was going to try and move it, but I have to merge it to move it, which is a pain in the bum. Yeah, probably ones I've done, I'll bloody move it all. Now, let's see. Should I do the shading today or not? To be honest, I can do the shading in my spare time, really. Like, this is just the basic colours. And just me just explaining like the lore of Vamp the Lost Soul. I'm kind of half tempted to call it a day here. But, or take a break and come back at a bit of a later time. But, to be honest, I'm going to make it up to you at this point, because I have spent a little bit longer than normal. I think this has been running for what? Roughly 3 hours now, I would say. Yeah. Roughly about that, because I started at 12:30. Yeah, I started about 12:30, so I'm just like way late into the game. And my voice is getting a bit raspy. So, like I say, up to you guys. If you want me to shade it, I'll shade it. If you want, if not, I can save this till a little later on. But like I say, I am getting pretty knackered. Because then it means I have to mess with your hue and that. I tell you what, I'll do the background at least, and then end it here, and do the shading off screen, and then upload it onto VR, because then it'd be a nice surprise once it's up. Plus, I can go to sorry to slaughter your name again, Darian, to give me the tutorial on advanced shading, because I already know like part shading so far and stuff like that. So I'm going to do the background at least. What sort of background should I do? Oh, I know what to do actually. It makes my life a lot easier. Layer, new layer. Because this is, like I say, this is going to be for my VTLS videos. Select inverse. We're going to paint bucket. What colour should I do in the wall? Yeah, dude, I should arrange a time. We should arrange a time at some point, because I want to make this look as good as possible for my video. So I think we're gonna make them a classroom colour, because walls are normally about like a creamy colour, I'd say, like that, for example. Yeah. No, to be honest, classrooms are kind of white, aren't they? Kind of like more like that. So, right. And what we'll do is, no. Let's just make it too messy. Too messy. Tell you what I'm going to do instead is do this. If I measure it correctly. There we go. We'll do something like that. Then where's the magic wand? Magic wand it? No, we want the minus. Perfect. That is the sort of thing I wanted. And then we'll make the TV edge, we'll make it like a dark grey. We need a bigger. There we go. And then what we'll do is we'll be really cunning with the lines. Oh, hold on. Before I do that, just spotted something. Now let's try that again. I'll hopefully finish this time. Awesome. There we go. And then we'll fill for black. We're going to do that. Select, deselect. I'm going to go for a really small brush size. And then yeah, that should give it sort of like a classroom feel, shouldn't it? And then we'll do this along with this. Just give it that TV feel. If you could have two people to voice act those two rendos, who would it be? Oh, I'll tell you what. If I can choose anyone that's not including non anime characters, I'm sorry, non anime voice actors. For the male one, I would probably. Do you know what? Just for jokes, I would actually get voiced by Morgan Freeman, the male rendo, because he will kind of have that sort of down tone, relaxed, laid back sort of thing. As for the female rendo, who would I voice? Who would I voice her? Because Jesus, that would be a hard one. Who would I get to voice the female? Do you know what? I would have to go with the person who voices Pearl out of Steven Universe, only because she's got that nagging voice. And yes, it's annoying, but she kind of has that nagging tone to look at. The look of her. Look at her as like sort of, she's a nagger, if you get what I mean. She likes to nag a lot. But yeah, that's something I would do, because like I say, I would probably do that. I know you probably disagree. If you can find better voice actors, let me know, but I'll probably get like two celebs just for the shit of it. Really? Because like I say, it's just characters. These are just like I say, tutorial characters. Edit, undo. I'll tell you what, just to make the wall look a bit more authentic, I'm gonna put some cracks on the wall. Because school walls always have cracks. You know what? I'm gonna put my signature at the bottom of the telly as a company, just for a joke. There we go. The J. Raven Company. We sell TVs. Standard for education. For all your VTLS education needs. There we go. No, actually, all jokes aside, I should be really serious about the voice actors. No, I wouldn't have Morgan Freeman to do him. That was just a joke in Voice of Pearl. I think, to be honest, I would say Crispin Freeman would actually voice the male Rendo. Because one, he is my favourite voice actor. You'll have to do it a bit more of a like a serious tone, but not like Alucard or any other characters he's done. Like, it'd just be a serious tone, monotone character, because they kind of speak like quite without emotion. Rendos do speak a lot without emotion. So yeah, Crispin Freeman for him. And the other one, ooh, I have to say, ooh, that's a really hard one. Maybe the person who voices Sakura, but if I could get to do, like I say, a more serious, unemotional tone. So, yeah, it'd probably be that, because like I say, Rendos very rarely show emotion through voice tone. So, that's to be honest with you. Okay, yeah, so I'm practically done now for today. I think I'm going to call it a day, because I've done what I needed. I think I'm going to do a shade in the background with Darian, so I can get a tutorial off you, so I can actually start sorting this out. I hope you enjoyed the live Let's Draw. By the way, please free to subscribe and all that to my channel, and hopefully I'll see you later. This is James Vamp. Lost All Truth is more than it seems. If you enjoyed anything with Vamp the Lost Soul in today's episode, please feel free to subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also subscribe to my Facebook page. Also, I do have a Patreon, so please, please, please support. If you do, you get some really cool benefits if you become a patron today, aka a truth seeker. Also, feel free to share all my social medias. Volumes 1 and 2 are out now. You can message me via Facebook if you're interested in a copy, and I will send you like a receipt for a digital or a hard copy. Also, my books are available in Vault Comics in Welling, Orbital Comics in London, and Newsstand Comics and Candy in Dartford. This is James from Vamp, the Lost Soul, and the truth is more than it seems.